With the name of Almighty One, who is most merciful and compassionate. My name is Dr. Abu Abdullah. May be peace, greeting, and mercy of Almighty One God on all of you. We are learning the last scripture from the heavens by God, Al-Quran. And it is unchanged since it was revealed more than 1400 years ago. Because God says in Quran that I am protecting himself and no power in this word can change a single word. So today we will be discussing AlLal. AlLal means night in English. This surah so closely resembles Surah Shams that each surah seems to be an explanation of the other. It's one and of the same thing which has been explained in Surah Shams in one way and in this surah in another. This indicates that both these surahs were revealed in about the same period, which is early stage of Prophet's residence of Mecca. The major issues, divine laws and guidance in it are: number one, for good people, Allah will facilitate the easy way, and for the wicked, the hard way. Number two, what benefit will one get from his wealth if he himself is doomed? So this surah identifies two different ways of life and explains the contrast between their ultimate ends and results. The first way is of the one who spends his wealth, adopts God conscious and piety, and acknowledges the good as good. The second way is of the one who is a miser, doesn't care for Allah's pleasure or displeasure, and repudiates what is good and right. It's stated that these two modes of actions, which are clearly opposite to each other, cannot be equal and alike in respect of their results. Just as they are different in their nature, so are they different in their results. After this, the following three realities are stated briefly. Number one, Allah has not left man uninformed in the examination hall of the world, but has taken on himself the responsibility to tell him which one is the right straight path out of the different ways of life. There is no need to point out that by sending its prophets and his books, he has fulfilled his responsibility. The master of both this world and the hereafter is Allah alone. If you seek this world, it is He who will give it, and if you seek the hereafter, again it is He who give it. Now it's for you to decide what you should seek from Him, one or other. Number three, the wretched one who rejects good presented through the prophet and the book and turns away from it will have a blazing fire ready for him. As for the God-fearing person who spends his wealth in a good cause, without any selfish motive, and only for the sake of his Rabb's, God's pleasure, his Rabb will be pleased with him and will bless him with so much that he will be well pleased with his Rabb, God. Now we recite the verses. By the night as it covers in darkness, and by the day as it spreads in brightness, and by Him who created the male and the female, surely your efforts are directed towards various ends. So for him who gives in charity, fears Allah, and testifies to goodness, we shall facilitate for him the path to good. As for him who is stingy and considers himself independent of Allah and rejects the goodness, we shall facilitate for him the path to evil. What benefit will he get from his wealth if he himself is doomed? Surely it is for us to give guidance, and surely to us belong to the end and the beginning. Thereafter, I warn you of the blazing fire in which none shall burn except the most wretched who denies the truth and gives no heed. But the pious believer will be kept away from it. The one who spends in charity for self purification, not seeing any favor from anyone for which a reward is expected in return, except seeking the good pleasure of his Rabb, means God the Most High. Such a person shall soon be well pleased with Allah. So, these are the verses of AlLal from 1 to 21. And here is described for good people, Allah will facilitate the easy way, and for the wicked, the hard way. And what benefit will he get from wealth if he himself is doomed? So, my dear friend, these are the lecture of today. Please keep watching my channel, Dr. Abu Abdullah.